Ladies and gentlemen, it is our turn to compete tonight at the Gold Cup Race of Champions in Chico, California at the Silver Dollar Speedway. You can see the beautiful Shark Racing 1T behind me. Wanted to welcome you back to the show. The Gold Cup is one of the biggest races out here on the West Coast. Tomorrow pays $25,000 to win, and part of why this race is so big is just the history of the event. And year after year, this place puts on a really exciting show. And I can't lie, a lot of that is just because it's a Northern California bull ring. You're all on such a tight track. You have to race hard, you have to be aggressive, you have to throw big slide jobs. It's not uncommon for Silver Dollar to get rough and have a big cushion, which just adds to all the chaos. But no matter what we see tonight, we're gonna get after it with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. This race is a split field format, so half the cars ran on Thursday and then half run tonight. And you gather points every single time you're on track. So you wanna gather the best results today to set you up better for tomorrow's $25,000 twin finale. So that's exactly our goal with the 1T and Shark Racing. Here soon, we're gonna get the night underway. We'll ride into engine heat, hot laps, and then single car qualifying. So we just wrapped up qualifying. We are about halfway done, so they still have maybe another 15-ish cars to go. Right now we're currently sitting 7th. We were 6th when we went out. Next car bumped us. The goal though is to try to stay in the top 8, because that's how, well, if you make it in the show, they take the top 8 in qualifying times and then they invert them. So to have a shot at starting the first 4 rows tonight, you gotta be in that top 8 or maybe 9th or 10th, and then hope someone gets bumped from this heat race coming up where they're gonna be taking the top 5 and inverting 6. We were a little off in hot laps. Track's really greasy. It's one of those typical Silver Dollar things. You're trying to judge off a track that you're not gonna be on. It's just getting worked in. But overall, made some changes, got a little bit more grip, a little bit more feel in the car, because when you're out there sliding around, it's hard to feel anything. But anyway, that's qualifying. We'll see where we end up, but hopefully our time holds. So the heat race is up next. Like I mentioned, we got a 6-car invert ahead of us, and unfortunately our time did not hold on. The surface actually, I think, got a little bit better as grease burned off the last couple of spots where it was still slimy. So we ended up 16th there, so dropped back a little bit. Guys there at the end just started popping up towards the top of the charts, 2nd, top 5, whatnot. It went from like 12.0s to 11.9s all the way down to an 11.7. So some of the fastest times we've seen all weekend. Now we got to bounce back in this heat race, rolling off from 3rd. They're going to transfer the top 5. And then, you know, once you make it into the feature, they'll kind of have a lineup for us with that invert, like I mentioned, and then the rest of our qualifying times behind it. So heat race is up next. Got to get busy and try to pass some cars. Well, tough heat race there for the 1T. Felt like we kind of rolled off in a difficult position as well. Kind of boxed in there on the second row. And overall, I just didn't feel that great. So right now we're gonna go to work on, making our car better. This is where Silver Dollar gets really weird. Like, it's slick in some spots, it's hooked up in others, and then it has a curb, which if you get into and you're too tight, you're literally just gonna tip over. So there's a lot of variations and factors when you're trying to get your car close, and that's what makes a track like this so difficult. So check off the heat race. We went backwards, and I just felt like I struggled for 10 laps. I didn't feel comfortable. I tried to run different lines, and I didn't get to where I needed. So now we're gonna have a B main event up next, make some changes and kind of throw something at it and see if we can just get a little bit closer. I think once we get there, we'll be fine. We're just kind of, searching a little bit right now, which happens. So B main will be up next. They're gonna be transferring the top 4, and we need to get through that to get into tonight's prelim A.
To go in the Microlight Last Chance Showdown. Rico Abreu is the leader. We'll watch Jake Morgan try to grab the final transfer spot as Casey Kane tries to fight back by the 24 Rico Abreu. Good run on the bottom in 1 and 2 that time for Shane Hopkins to put some distance between himself and that number 45 white flag in the air. Rico on the cushion at the entry to turn 1, down low out of turn number 2. Takes down the back straightaway for the final time. Morgan all kinds of crossed up in 1 and 2. Checkered flag set to wave. Rico Abreu wins it second to Casey Kane. Tanner Holmes third, and Shane Hopkins in the 4th and final transfer position.
Well, glad we got through the B there. Needed those laps, like I said, just kind of work on our race car. I think we made a step in the right direction, and we'll try to make another step here for the feature. Silver Dollar's just tricky, especially when it's like this. It's definitely a different animal on all sides of the team. Like I said, trying to get the car right for me, and then me to drive the best race for the car, and then to get out there and just go. You just got to be on it. So we're gonna be coming from deep here. We're gonna have to try to keep our nose clean, but glad we got in the show, and like I said, progress in the right direction. So we're heading out right now for 30 laps. Nice thing about starting this far back is we can only go forward. I feel like the first couple, the start and early on is going to be really, really important. Mainly just because, that's when everyone's closest, and yesterday's feature went green to checkered, so I think there's a good opportunity that this one could as well. Hopefully though, we have some yellows to kind of keep things close and be able to make position going forward. But my guys have been working hard all night, just getting me better, and I've been working hard all night to be a better driver as well, so head out for the feature.
track, yeah, it looked better. That's what the track got. So you have the spot.
Yeah, well, I wish I could have started on the inside maybe a little bit. I don't know. Well, it's hard to say.
You have a lot of you made a whole bunch of good news for the day. No, it still looks better. I mean, definitely.
Well, didn't get an opportunity to chat with you guys after the races yesterday. To kind of recap the A, started 23rd, ended up finishing 15th. It was a dogfight for every single position around this small California bull ring. The good news I have is my car felt best in the feature compared to the rest of the night. I think we made progress in the right direction, especially around the bottom side of the track. I made a lot of passes down there. For some reason though, I just don't feel good around the curb. And that in general kind of just hindered our night, and for the 1T, you know, it sucks how it all played out, but as I've said many times, you know, that's just part of dirt racing. You kind of have to ride the wave of highs and lows and never get too up and never get too down. And I want you guys to know the Shark Racing team and all of us together are working so hard to work in the right direction. It's just difficult when you get off to a slow start, the car's off, it just like all the pieces of the puzzle aren't, you know, fitting together. And every time we got on track, we made progress, but still against the best drivers in the world. And you know, the Outlaws, doesn't matter if you are an outlaw, doesn't matter if you're local, whatever the situation may be, you just have to simply be on it. So when you get behind, it just makes for a really, really long night. They're working the track now, but for the feature, there was a pretty gnarly curve. And then the bottom actually got pretty slick and you had to slow down to hit it and even maybe get your left front up on the berm. So kind of considering all factors, I thought it was a good surface and put on a decent show up front where they kind of had a last lap pass to the finish. Anyway, that recaps our preliminary show at Gold Cup. Am I disappointed about our night? Absolutely. I think our team is, you know, we want to run as well as we can. But like I told you guys, we're working hard together, get the race car better, get me better around the track. I'm being focused, trying to just like, man, what can I do to be faster at Silver Dollar? You know, how can I work with the car and the car works with me? And as we kind of, you know, move our setup around to just get closer to the target. But all that is a part of the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Appreciate that you're here for me, and I love the community we have, and you guys see our highs and lows, and as we go on the rest of the World of Outlaw Tour, we're gonna have some of that. These guys are the best in the business, my team is the best of the business, and like I said, we are working hard together to be the best together. See you guys in the next one. Deuces.